Gentleman from Virginia, Mr. Griffith, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Ms. McCarthy, for being here today. Today is February 25th, 2015, and earlier you told Chairman Whitfield that you were confident of going forward with the Clean Power Plan under 111D, and I'm just wondering, your budget document also states the Clean Power Plan is President Obama's top priority for the EPA and the central element of the U.S. domestic climate mitigation agenda. Has there, yes or no, has there ever been a time since it was announced by the President in June of 2014 that the EPA has considered not finalizing this rule? Yes or no?
No.
And has there ever been a time since it was announced by the President in June of 2014 that you have considered, as the administrator of the EPA, have considered not finalizing this rule?
No, sir.
So then, in the case of Murray Energy versus EPA and Gina McCarthy, when your lawyers said that the EPA may not adopt the proposal related to final action, the proposed Section 111D related to the Clean Power Plan, your lawyers did not tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to the court. Isn't that accurate, yes or no?
Sir, the proposal as proposed may not be what we move forward with, but there has never been an indication to me in comments that were received.
But they said they may not,
that
they may not move forward. That wouldn't be a complete statement of accuracy since June 2014 and today you're very confident you're moving forward. You're moving forward. That was the whole argument in the case. Let me move on.
Many things can happen.
Let me
move
move
on.
on.
About my confidence level, and I'm confident that we can get this done.
All right. Well, let me move on then, because it's interesting that your lawyers have taken several positions on this. In the case of New Jersey versus EPA, 517 F. 3rd 574, 2008, in regard to 111D, the EPA promulgated camera regulations for existing electric generation units under Section 111D, but, and I'm quoting now from the opinion, but under EPA's own interpretation of the section, it cannot be used to regulate sources listed under 112. EPA thus concedes that if the electric generation units remain listed under Section 112, as we hold, then the camera regulations for existing sources must fall. I would submit to you that the same is going there. Your lawyers have already conceded you don't have the authority to regulate under both 112 and 111D, and yet you say you're confident in moving forward.
I don't agree
and let me
with
read
that
you the language of the
sir.
and let me read you the language of the actual code. 111D1, the administrator shall prescribe regulations which shall establish a procedure similar to that provided by Sections 110, under which each state shall submit to the administrator a plan which, A, establishes standards of performance for any existing source for any air pollutant, for which air quality criteria have not been issued or which is not included on a list published under Section 108A or, relevant section, emitted from a source category which is regulated under Section 112. So it would seem from the language, from prior court cases where the EPA conceded the point that there is not legal authority to move forward, and I would have to submit, and I know that you're not an attorney by training, but I would have to submit to you as an attorney by training that if you are confident of going forward under 111D and being upheld in the courts, your confidence is misplaced and your lawyers are not telling you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Let me switch to another subject. Your budget requests tens of millions of dollars to implement the Clean Power Plan because you all have indicated you need some expertise. I assume, however, that you do work well with the Secretary of the Department of Energy. Is that true? Yes or no?
Yes,
you
I
work
do.
I thought you did. And so then I have to ask, why are we going to spend tens of millions of dollars of the taxpayers to give you all new employees for evaluating and capturing these compliance strategies requires the agency to tap into technical and policy expertise not traditionally needed in the EPA, for example, nuclear, wind, solar, hydroelectric, etc. When the DOE already possesses this expertise, why not just work with them? And I would submit that that's what you ought to do, and that would save the taxpayers tens of millions of dollars. Do you agree with me that if we can use the DOE as experts instead of having the EPA open up a whole new branch, that that would be better for the taxpayers of the United States of America, yes or no? And I only have a couple seconds.
I do not agree that there isn't a need for expertise at EPA.
All right. I think you all can share, but we disagree on that. And lastly, you agree that health of people and employment are connected with each other, that people who are employed generally have a better health standard that the unemployed sometimes don't enjoy. You would agree with that, I would think. And I would have to say to you that one of the concerns I have with you've heard about the wave after wave of regulation from Mr. McKinley and how that's hurting employment. I picked up the unemployment statistics in some of my coal counties and going in alphabetical order and just hitting the first two. Buchanan County, at the height of the recession, had an 8.9 annual unemployment rate in 09, 8.9. In 13, at the end of 13, it's 9.8 because of regulations that are putting hundreds and thousands of coal miners and related industries, their jobs are gone. This is not even counting the folks who've just gone ahead and decided to retire or shut down their businesses and are no longer looking for employment. That was Buchanan County, Dickinson County. Height of the recession, 2009, annual number 9.0. Today, or 2013, 10.0. Our economy is getting worse because of policies coming from your agency, and I apologize I can't let you finish or answer that because I have to yield back. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman yields back. This time I recognize the gentleman from Maryland, Mr. Sarbanes, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Administrator McCarthy, for being here. Just on